Welcome back to Salmon and Cod Playtime. Today we are going to be talking about circles. But first, I got to tell you a little story, if that's okay. It's about when I was a little girl. See, for holidays when I was little, we used to always go to my grandma's house. And my grandma was, oh my goodness, a fantastic cook. She cooked everything from scratch. She had a huge living room or a huge kitchen table, and she would line the whole table with food, and it was delicious. But everyone's favorite part of the meal was at the end when my grandma brought out her pies. She made every kind of pie you can possibly imagine. She made apple, she made cherry, she made peach, pecan, pumpkin, depending on what season it was and what holiday we were celebrating. But remember, we only did this 3 times a year. Every holiday, 3 times a year, she would make my favorite pie in the entire world. It was the only time during the year I got this pie. It was called a custard pie. I don't know if you've ever had custard, but it's like this vanilla, creamy goodness of a pie. It's so good. Well, I had a cousin. And every year, me and my cousin would fight over this pie because we wanted it so much. We fought all the other relatives for it. It was our pie and we wanted it. So after a while, my grandma got smart and she decided to make a pie for just me and my cousin. She made one pie just for us. And it was a custard pie. And these were the rules. She told my cousin that my cousin got the knife because my cousin was 2 years older. And she said, you get to cut the cake, or the pie. You get to cut the pie any way you want. But because I was the youngest, I got to choose which half of the pie I got. She got to make the cut, but I got to choose which side I wanted, which means if she cut the pie to where one side was bigger, you best believe I was going for that bigger side. I wanted more pie. So my cousin would spend, oh my gosh, so much time cutting slowly, as slow as she could, so that she could get the pie as even down the middle as she possibly could, because she wasn't going to give me a spoonful extra. She wanted all the pie she could get. So she would take her time and she would cut all the way down the center of the pie until the pie was in 2 pieces. Okay? I know this is a cake, but it was pie then. And she would cut it down the middle, and then I got to pick which half I wanted. And I always picked the bigger half, so she better have done a good job. So once she cut it, I took my half of the pie, she took her half of the pie. And we both ate a slice right then and there. But whatever was left over, my grandma would put in a to-go container, and we got to take it home with us at the end of the night. So whatever pie I didn't eat, I got that rest of the pie, and I got to take it home, and I got to eat on it for however many days it lasted. So it was a really great thing. Okay, we're going to move this to the side. This is my messed up circle, because that kind of messed it up. Ooh, that's not the color I wanted. Oh, that's okay. We're going to make this really pretty. I wanted to go with the purple, and that didn't happen. Okay, so what would happen is let's say that this is the pie, okay? My cousin would take that knife, and she would cut down the middle of that pie as straight as she possibly could. She went from one side of the pie all the way to the other side of the pie, okay? Now in math, when you have a line that goes from one side of a circle all the way across the circle to the opposite side of that point of that dot, and you put another dot on the other side, that is called the diameter, okay? That's the diameter of a circle, and I know that's a big word and it's kind of silly, but it's called the diameter, okay? Now, if you wanted to find the middle of the circle, like if you wanted to find the middle of your pie or the middle of the circle, you would go to this line and you'd find the halfway point between both of those. That halfway point, we're going to put it right there, okay? That is the middle of our circle. If you find the middle of that line, that's the middle of the circle, okay? Any line that goes through there now is going to go through the middle of that circle, Okay, so there's that. Now, this distance from the middle of the pie, right here, okay, the middle of the circle, all the way right here to the end. So from here, from the middle to the end, that's going to be called the radius, which is different. Okay, we'll talk about that in just a second. First of all, what did I make? Are there any geeks out there that know what I just made, if you have a really good imagination? The diameter will always kind of look like a Pokeball. It really will. We do Pokemon a lot in this house, and that just kind of looks like a Pokeball. So when you draw a line from one side to the other and then put the middle of the circle in there, you've kind of made a Pokeball. Okay, here we go. Now, if I were to erase this line right here, right there, just for a second. I'll put it back, but just for a second. You were to go from the middle of the circle just to one edge of the circle. And you can do this anywhere. You could do this here, or here, or here. Whenever you draw a straight line from the middle to the side, that's going to be called the radius. Okay? Which is kind of a crazy little word there, but that's what it is. Erase all that. So sorry. So, today we have talked about the diameter, which is the line that goes all the way across, which is what my cousin cut when she was cutting our pie. She cut the diameter right down the center of that pie. But if you only go from the middle of the pie and draw one side of a slice, like side of a slice of pie, if you can imagine a slice of pie, you only draw one line from the middle to the outside. That is called the radius. Okay? So diameter and radius. Those are the words for today. All right. We will come back. Oh, you know what? Let's not even come back. Let's go ahead and do this now. I've got it right here. I've got this right here. We're going to do this out so you can see it. This forms a whole circle. I don't know if you can see that. That is one whole pretty circle. Okay? If I had the diameter of a circle, that means that I have half. If I had the diameter, see this line? If I had one side and two sides, that would be the diameter of the circle, and it cuts the circle into two parts. This part right here, and whatever would be down here. Okay? The radius is just from one side to the middle. So if I folded this up, this would be the radius of my circle right here, because it's from the end point all the way to the farthest outside edge. Here's that outside edge right here of my circle. Okay? So two radiuses make a diameter, and that's a straight line that goes all the way across your circle. Diameter goes all the way across the circle. Radius just goes halfway across. Okay? Just goes halfway across. Wow, I just keep messing up this circle. My goodness. How messy of me. I've been very messy. Okay, when we come back, we're going to play some more, okay? I hope you guys have a good day, and I hope this taught you something. We will play again in a little bit. Bye, everybody.